This special holiday greeting is brought to you by H-E-B.
Hi, I'm John Erickson, author of the Hank the Cowdog series of books and audio books. We're on our ranch in Roberts County up in the Panhandle, and it's a beautiful snowy day. Snow's coming straight down, and I'm going to read you a little Christmas story today from the 13th Hank book, The Wounded Buzzard on Christmas Eve. And by the way, we've got 3 dogs out on the porch. They're out there snapping at snowflakes. If you hear somebody barking, it's not me, it's the dogs. Slim Chance, the bachelor cowboy, has taken little Alfred and the dogs with him to go Christmas shopping in the town of Twitchell. They're walking down the street. He stops in front of a building. Y'all, I won't be long. Be good and stay out of mischief here. See you in a few minutes. And with that, he walked into the store. When he opened the door, we heard the sounds of men's voices, followed by a loud crack. The sign on the front window of the store said, "Pool Hall." Drover said, "What's a pool hall?" "It's a big hall with a pool at one end." "A pool of what?" "Water, of course. What else would you find in a pool?" "I don't know. You think he's gonna go swimming?" "Well, I sure hope he swims. If he doesn't, he's liable to drown. Those pools can be pretty deep." "Gosh, I wouldn't want to go swimming in this cold weather." "That's good, Drover, because nobody invited you to swim. You were invited to stay at the pickup." "That's fine with me. I hate water anyway, especially in the winter." We left the front of the swimming pool store and wandered on down the street. Slim's pickup was parked at the curb a short ways down. Little Alfred crawled up into the back of the pickup and called for us to join him. We sat down at the back and watched the world go by. Whilst we were watching the cars and the people, I noticed that Drover had begun snapping at snowflakes. I mean, he really seemed to be getting a thrill out of it. For some reason, that irritated me. "Why are you doing that?" "Who, me?" "Oh, I don't know. I never stopped to think about it." "Well, stop and think about it. What's the purpose of it? What good's it doing?" "Well, let me see. I don't know." "Think harder. If there's a purpose behind it, I want to hear it. If there's no purpose, you should quit." "Well, okay, let me think here. I've got it now. Every snowflake I catch in my mouth is one that won't pile up on the street. So I guess I'm preventing snowdrifts." Preventing snowdrifts. Do you have any idea how many snowflakes you'd have to catch to prevent one snowdrift? "Well, let me think here. How many flakes are in a drift?" "That depends on the size of the flakes." "Big flakes." "All right, then it depends on the size of the drift." "Big drift." Okay, there are 123 big flakes in a big drift. "I'll be darned. How'd you know that?" It's common knowledge, Drover. You just have to know your weights and measures. For example, there are 5 toes in a foot, 1 foot in a boot, and 3 feet in a yard. There are 5 yards in a city block, and 10 blocks weigh a ton. "I'll swan. How many toes in a ton?" 123, the same number as flakes in a drift. "How'd you come up with that?" Easy. You divide feet into toes, boots into feet, yards into boots, and multiply all that times 4. "How come 4? "Because 4 is the only whole number between 3 and 5. "Huh, I hadn't thought of that. Do all numbers live in holes?" "No, some do and some don't. It just depends." "Oh, well, if all whole numbers don't live in holes, what does?" "Prairie dogs, ground squirrels, and cottontail rabbits." "How many rabbits in a hole?" 4. "Now, how'd you know that?" "I told you, Drover, 4 is the only whole number. You're making me repeat myself." "Well, I still don't understand how you can figure all that stuff in your head. I placed a paw on his shoulder and looked him in the eyes. The head, Drover, that's the important thing. At last you come to the crux of the core. What's a crux? A crux is like a small crutch, and I don't think we have any more time for weights and measures. If you have any more questions, we'll take them up at another time. I still got a few. In the meantime, go back to snapping snowflakes. I've run the numbers on it, and it appears that you might be able to prevent a snowdrift or two. Oh, good. But I never dreamed it could be so complicated. Everything's complicated, Drover. If this world was simple, dogs like you might be running it. That's kind of scary. Exactly. Well, Merry Christmas from the Erickson family, the Hank the Cowdog family, and the HEB family. Bye now.
This special presentation is brought to you by HEB. Proudly serving Texans since 1905, no store does more than HEB.